This is a presentation on topic leadership by Group G. Leadership. It's an interesting topic. We hold elections every 4 years to determine our leaders. We have leaders all around us and even have dedicated programs just for leadership. Even businesses and organizations require effective leaders to be successful. Businesses are often built on the workers being able to successfully work together, and it's under great leaders which these businesses succeed. Additionally, leadership does not always have to be a position, and anyone can become a leader. This is especially relevant to us now as students working on a group assignment because everyone will go through the experience of being a leader within the team through utilizing each other's strengths and being able to take responsibility and lead ourselves. Hence, our group chose leadership as a topic as it could help enhance our careers in the future and to go learn from experience while working as a group to achieve the assignment goal. Given that leadership is such a broad topic, we all have experienced different forms of leadership and have various perceptions of the definition of leadership. Hence, we need to discuss further on which aspects of leadership we would like to focus on as a team, e.g., everyday leadership, leadership styles, leadership in business, or professional environment. But before we do that, we'll look further at the applicable leadership theories. The prevailing leadership theories are divided into 4 theory groups: trait theories, behavioral theories, contingency theories, and power influence theories. These applicable theories are used to explain the behavior and leadership. Trait theories, or great person theory, originated back in the 1800s, where leaders were born, not made. They were chosen based on their innately extraordinary personal qualities, such as assertiveness and capacity to motivate others. However, the trait theory was challenged after multiple researchers failed to compile a consistent list of qualities that all leaders supposedly possessed. Recent twin studies illustrate a heritability of 0.3 in leadership, showcasing the major weakness of trait theories in which situational factors were omitted when evaluating the effectiveness of leadership. Behavioral theories examine the effectiveness of a successful leader by evaluating the autocratic or democratic behavior style of the leader. Behaviorists conclude the dynamic interaction between leaders and subordinates is the key in modeling a successful leader. The limitation of this theory is that a specific leadership style may not be the best in all circumstances. This style of theory claims that there isn't a best way to lead, but that the leadership should be adjusted depending on the situation. The main contingency theory of leadership is Dirac-Fuller's contingency theory. This theory relies on a relationship between workers and leaders. Forsyth states that the stronger the relationship, the better the results, and the clearer the approach, the higher chance of clearing the goal. Power and influence theory of leadership is based on different ways in which leaders can use their power and influence to complete the task at hand. One style of leadership associated with power and influence theory is transformational leadership. Transformational leadership involves a leader working with subordinates in order to identify the need for change. They guide this change through inspiration and motivation. However, this leadership style may not always be the best method as power may be diluted. The main theory we have chosen is situational leadership theory. Situational leadership theory is one of a class of situational approaches to leadership. Situational leadership attempts to explain effective leadership within the context of the larger situation in which it occurs. The overall situational leadership approach suggests that the leader must act in a flexible manner to be able to diagnose the leadership style appropriate to the situation, and to be able to apply the appropriate style. Unlike the trait theory of leadership, this one suggests that the leaders are not born, rather the leaders must develop the capabilities for leadership by serving in groups that are functional. There are different theories that attempt to describe the situational leadership. These include Fuller's contingency theory, House's path goal theory, and Vroom and Yetton's normative theory. Fuller's contingency theory. This is the main theory for situational leadership and suggests that the effectiveness of a leader or organization is contingent on 2 elements: the leader's motivational structures or leadership style, and the degree to which the leadership situation provides the leader with control and influence over the outcomes. Leadership styles and situational control can be matched either by changing the leader's personality or by changing the individual's situational control in order to affect the organization or group performance. House path goal theory. House suggests that the leader should make desired rewards available and clarify for subordinates the kind of behaviors that will lead to reward. Theory proposes 4 types of leader behavior and 2 situational variables. Vroom and Yenton's normative theory. This normative theory offers guidelines on how decisions ought to be made in specific situations. 5 decision-making methods ranging from highly autocratic to highly participative are identified. The appropriate method depends on the answer to 7 questions relating to the problem being solved and subordinates involved. The first 3 protect the quality of the decision, and final 4 enhance the subordinates' acceptance. Now that we've talked about different leadership theories, let's have a look at an example of situational leadership in action. Our case study regarding Tesco. Tesco is a retailer specializing in a variety of areas such as food, insurance, entertainment, and much more. It employs over 440,000 people all around the world, and as a multinational corporation, it is important to realize the cultural variability within each work environment. Considering the growing number of Tesco locations in Asia, Europe, and North America, it is important to explore and adapt behaviors of many leaders in their corresponding cultural contexts and how they utilize situational leadership in order to effectively run the business. The Tesco website has comprehensive business studies resources, including case studies. We have chosen one which is relevant to situational leadership theory. This is taken from Tesco's website regarding one of their managers' leadership styles. The best managers adopt leadership styles appropriate to the situation. His preferred leadership style is to take a democratic approach. He consults widely as he feels the staff responds better to this approach. For example, when planning a major stock reduction program, he encouraged his managers to put forward ideas and develop plans. This increases team motivation and encourages creativity. Some mistakes may be made, but they are used as a learning experience. However, as a store manager, Stefan deals with many different situations. Some may be business critical, and it is important they respond to these in the most appropriate way. In such situations, Stefan may need to adapt his leadership approach and exert more authority. Thus, we can see most effective leaders will be able to adopt different leadership styles according to the situation at hand. This is an essential part of leadership that will benefit every member in the group. Although every individual has a preferred method of leadership, the best leaders will be able to adjust styles. Given that leadership is such a broad topic, we have all experienced different forms of leadership and have various perceptions of the definition of leadership. Hence, we need to discuss further on which aspect of leadership we would like to focus on as a team, for example, everyday leadership, leadership styles, or leadership in businesses. Let's take a listen to other people's thoughts on leadership.
My leadership style when I was younger was definitely very much power and influence. I thought that was what a leader is and what a leader should be. But as I've become more self-aware, as I've developed and been through different roles, I've realized that my style has become more situational. So I have much more concern for the development and progression of the followers, and to suit their needs as a leader.
So my leadership style is based on friendship rather than dictatorship. And I know that sometimes you require dictatorship, but it just so happens that my personal leadership style is one where I try to connect with the people, with my members so we're on an equal level, so that they feel empowered to make their own decisions and to make and have their own opinions about the work we are doing.
For me, it was situational, because I think that a good leader is someone that is able to take in what others are inputting and the situation around him, and being able to adapt to that and develop his or her leadership skills according to what people need.
I think the situational leadership will be the most suitable for me, because I believe that a leader should be able to understand the strength or like the weakness of the member, and also according to their ability, guide them through the situation or any problem.
I believe that the behavioral style of leadership is the best, because each leadership style should be dependent on the situation itself, not a fixed set of rules that you have to follow. So if one circumstance calls for a leader who likes to lead his team, then that's good. But another situation might ask for a leader who would just have to delegate tasks and get the job done.
We also sent out survey forms to over 50 random UNSW students and received 56 responses. Through this survey, we were able to get a deeper understanding of what other people's decisions when it comes to leadership. When asked how they would make decisions, the slight majority of people answered that they would set decision-making parameters and discuss with their groups. The other two answers were they would consult with their group, whether it be all or a specific portion of that group. While when asked which of the following best described their working style in the group, an overwhelming 58.9% of people said supportive, with the other answers being participative at 16.1%, directive and achievement-orientated both at 12.5%. Last but not least, when asked which of the following leadership style best suited them, the majority of people replied situational as their preferred style and power and influence as their least preferred. The main strengths of situational leadership theories are that it is easy to understand and easy to use. However, the limitations are that the model fails to distinguish between leadership and management. What is called leadership style is really management style. Leadership is not primarily about making decisions anyways. It is about inspiring people to change direction. Leaders may indeed vary the way they inspire people to change, but this is when they have already decided on the need to change. Hence, the leadership style is not reduced to the decision-making style. Situational leadership theory focuses too exclusively on what people in charge does. The fact that both leaders and managers have to behave differently in different situations is just a trivial fact of life. rather than anything profound in terms of our basic understanding of what it means to lead or manage. There are many theories on leadership, each with their own advantages and disadvantages. We chose situational leadership theory because we felt that it was the most relevant theory for people in our generation, where the fast-paced life requires us to be able to adapt to our changing surroundings. Even with potential pitfalls of situational leadership theory, we believe this leadership approach is worth being considered by organizations. We want to thank each of our members for their hard work in making this presentation, the participants in our survey, and the interviewers for our video. Thank you.